What is good? What is good, my good YouTube people, man? We're back with another Chainsaw Man chapter 118. 118 is here, and it's right where we left off, man. The cliffhanger. Will it or will it not? It won't work, man. Ha! I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I said it already last chapter, man. Denji's a hybrid. Things like this seem to be immune to. Plus, he has a piece of Ura inside him, so it might not be effective. Also, he's already a weapon, so that doesn't make sense. You can't turn a weapon into another weapon. So yeah, man, I still go off right there. And then Asa states, of course it doesn't work. He doesn't like me that way, right? Not that I care. And I was like, ha, Denji's no simp. But on a serious note, I'd just like to add 2 points of this whole convo that they had right here. The first one being is that it seems like only Yoshida is the only one that would ever truly notice Yoru's scars. Because whenever Yoru has a scar out, no one notices. Like, everyone seems to think it's Asa, no matter what. Like, when scars just magically appear on her face. This might be something that's only unique to Yoshida and maybe Fam, because Denji, even though he's a devil hunter and Chainsaw Man himself, he doesn't care or he just doesn't notice. But I think he will at least say like scars. That's weird. At least he'll find that puzzling that it just happened out of nowhere. Denji's dull sometimes, but he's not an idiot. So I find it strange that he didn't notice the scars. It actually might not be something that normal people can see, which makes me question what is with Yoshida. And the second thing is, I just love how Tatsuji Fujimoto is making this into a rom-com. Like, it's just so, like, the misunderstandings are leading to this, that, and the third. It's actually very lighthearted and very nice little, a little sprinkle in there. I sprinkle a little bit of lightheartedness until he cuts our heart out once again, man. Tatsuji just loved playing the game like this. But now that Yoru and Asa are back together, they finally get to talk about Fam, in which Yoru says what she says the last time as when she saw Fam, and that she's a mad woman or she's just someone crazy. And it's been so long that she didn't recognize her, which, I don't know. Yoru has never lied to Asa once, and I don't want to think of her as dumb, but how did this happen? How do you not realize this? Like, it's puzzling to me. I don't want to call Yoru a liar because I don't think Yoru is lying, but at the same time, I feel like Yoru should be more competent. This may just be me nitpicking out the series, but I feel like Yoru herself should be a little bit more competent in what she's showing, because her competency level is not showing too high, if you ask me, these last couple chapters. When it comes to fighting, she's your girl, but everything else, not so much. And then Yoru states, well, you didn't get that much sleep in the aquarium, so I'm tired, and then automatically just knocks out. And I find that weird. I actually looked it up. It turns out that Yoru says she has half of Asa's brain, and it turns out half of your brain can't sleep while you do other functions, which is a surprise to me. Oddly enough, when I Googled it, they show a picture of a bird, and when Yoru took over her body, it did show a bird as well. I might have to do more research into that later. But this gives Asa time to think about Denji. And then she thinks about how he said all those things, yet he doesn't like her. And she's like, excuse me? After all that, you don't like me? And she gets irritated by this and doesn't like Denji. I kind of do understand how she feels. It kind of feels like she was misled or bamboozled to a certain degree, because it feels like they should at least be friends. Because this doesn't mean that like she doesn't like him at all. It means that Denji kind of feels literally nothing for her. If we go back to Yuko, she could have turned Yuko into a weapon, and Yuko had no romantic relationship with her. She just saw Yuko as a friend. But this means that Yura can't even turn Denji into a weapon, which means Denji doesn't even see Asa as a friend. And Asa does like Denji, even though she tries to play it off saying, I don't care. But then she thought about him all night. An example would be like, let's say you talk to somebody, they shared some personal deep information, and you got comfortable so much that you started sharing some deep information about yourself, and you got really close to this person, and you felt like you know this person very well, and then this person just walked away and said, well, bye, stranger. To a certain degree, you would feel kind of hurt, and that's what I think Asa's going through right now. And we can't forget that Denji was one of the first few people that we see that actually encouraged her and made her feel confident in herself to a point where she was actually able to accomplish a lot on her own. Like, if we went back to the aquarium arc, that's what I'm going to call it, she didn't have Yuro at her side. Asa had to figure out everything on her own, and she handled the situation quite well and quite brilliantly. She had faith in herself, she believed in herself, and was able to overcome all the circumstances to get out there. Asa was able to get out of there by herself. Yuru carried her half with the fighting, but Asa was truly the brains of operation, which might actually be the foreshadowing of the events going on into the series, the way I feel about Yuru's competency level with her intelligence. But then they continue on till tomorrow, in which Denji, you say, let's get the date going. I got everything all planned, and I like I like how Denji, the master of dating, only has 2 dating experiences and used the one. Well, both of them tried to kill him, but man, yo, Chainsaw Man is funny in a messed up way when you think about it. Denji, the master of dating, 2 dating experiences, both people try to kill him, yet he still used their dating advice. Man, you gotta love it. So Denji, with his only 2-date super best ever dating plan, recommend that they go to a local all-night movie theater, which is a reference towards Makina and her dating plans with Denji, in which Asa doesn't want to go because she doesn't want to pay 2,000 yen, which, by the way, kind of translates only $15, man. Which I don't think that's a very reason. I think she's just mad at Denji over the misunderstanding. And then she suggests that they would do a cheaper date with a VCR, which Denji does have at his pace, but Asa would have to come over. And Denji panics a little bit, saying, oh, I don't know. And they said, okay, you can come over, but you have to follow my house rules. In which he says, worst case scenario, you might die. And to be honest, worst case scenario, you might die happens with practically everything. Like, if I go driving, worst case scenario, I could die. If I use the toilet, I don't know how, but worst case scenario, I might die. Like, these are just things that happen. I think it's just Tatsuji being hyperbolic to get us pumped for the next chapter. Everyone is theorizing that Naita is just some evil devil, and oh man. And I theorize it could possibly be 2 things. One, that because of Naita's position being the control devil, and Denji have to be very careful around her. He has to be careful of the people he brings around her, and he has to be very responsible with that because he don't want any bad influence that can lead Naita down the wrong path. 2, being that Naita myself has started developing her powers and doesn't have fully control over it. Or maybe the final reason that Naita is just evil. On this note, I'm actually happy that we get to talk about Naita because I've been wanting to talk about Naita for so long. Because this is not the first time Naita was made by Tatsuji Fujimoto. The first Naita that was ever created by Tatsuji was in one of his one-shot, Yogen no Naita, in which it kind of is a similar story to what Denji's going through right now. The premise of the story was this young boy has a little sister who is destined to destroy the world, named Naita. And within the context of the one-shot seems to be the case. Because Naita is not like every normal little girl. Her appearance is far different, being that she has horns. She has out of this world crazy magical powers. And the most disheartening factor is that her brother can't understand her because Naita doesn't speak conventional. As in, Naita speaks in the most demon language possible. She doesn't use words. Well, she does use words, but it's more words and gibberish. She was speaking guts, murder, kill them all, feast, flesh, the blood of my enemies. She'll say words like this, and these words would have meaning to her, but he himself would not understand it. And this will lead to him having problems communicating / understanding his own little sister, which is not easy with all the pressures around him telling him that his sister will destroy the world. So this leads to a disconnect to how he can raise Naita. And through the ending of the one shot, he learns that he has to discipline Naita properly so that she doesn't end the world, and he has to show care and love for Naita, which to a certain degree is what the Denji situation is. So this might be a references to Yogen no Naita, which looking back at it, I did read before, and it was my favorite Tatsuji one shot. And just like Yoro, I forgot the name of it, so I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's kind of nice to see a little throwback there. And I believe that's it for the chapter. Next week we're getting a break. The next chapter will be on the 31st of January. And yeah, that's it, guys. What do you guys think? Was I right? Was I wrong? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's been B3, and stay animated.